My name's Cynthia Taylor. I am a physician, and I came to Ginny and to Structural ReAlignment Integration work with Ginny several years ago as a result of a lifelong journey to try to find some teacher who could help me to deal with what seemed to be a block in my hip area that I had identified probably the first time when I was a child, but more seriously when I was 18 and I started doing yoga. The amount of yoga that I was doing and the intensity of the practice you would have thought would have resulted in me being able to be very flexible, to be able to do most all of the poses or the asanas as they're called. But in fact, I would reach a limit and would not be able to move any further. And I couldn't understand why. I thought perhaps I had a structural congenital problem, and I had gone to physicians and they said, no, there's nothing wrong. And I had gone to yoga teachers. I did find help along the way with other kinds of energy work or other kinds of practices, but none of them helped me to release this, what seemed to be a block in my hip area. Finally, I found Ginny. People had told me about her work for years, and I, by that time, was pretty discouraged, as you can imagine, because this was only maybe 8 years ago that I found her, and I had spent a lot of time in my life trying to find a teacher who could help me with this particular issue. Ginny has developed this technique that is really remarkable. She is able to release the tension and help me to learn how to identify where the tension, the source of the tension in the hip area, so that I could have freedom of movement and really have been able to do those poses that I was not able to do when I was 18. So this is testimonial to you women who are, shall we say, over 45, over 50, over 55, and that's where I'll stop. But you really can get more flexibility if you're looking for that, or more freedom of your joints. You can get some protection from the arthritis, the problems with arthritis, or with disabilities that you might be challenged with as you move into your into older years. It's not a panacea, of course, but for me, it has given me the freedom and movement that I really never thought I'd be able to achieve. And it's just exhilarating. An added benefit, which I had no idea I would be gaining with the work, was found in my speed of recovery from a back injury that I had incurred after a couple accidents that had happened when I was much younger. And then, as often happens, there would be one event 30 years after the motorcycle accident that I had had, and it resulted in me having a back injury. And I chose to develop a practice routine and get help from people to develop more healing in my back. And a side effect, I guess you might say, of this work is that it has helped my back to be aligned in the proper way so that my back and my spine actually can heal.